Hello beautiful people, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Oluchi Iman. On this channel I talk about cake business, I share tips on personal development, I do a lot of other things, and you're welcome to my channel. Just in case you're stopping by for the first time, thank you so much for stopping to watch this very video. And if you've always been here, thank you so much for being a part of the family and for sticking with me. I really do appreciate you and I love you all so much. I'm an international award-winning cake artist that is based in Manchester, the United Kingdom, and you are welcome to my channel. Just in case you're stopping by for the first time, I am so delighted to have you here, believe me, and it's a sweet sunny day and I am just upbeat, like I am excited. So today I'll be talking about freezing cakes. I've made a two-part video on this. Guys, I made one video and then I made another one sometime last year, and I've not been able, last year or early this year, and I've not been able to edit it, and there was a storage on my phone, and right now I can only lay hands on one. So I'm just doing this again so that I can share. And I'm talking about freezing cakes. Yes, so we're talking about freezing cakes. I remember making this video because I don't know if I got the idea or someone asked me at this point, but why do we freeze cakes? Is freezing cakes necessary? Like, is it necessary to freeze your buttercream cakes? I think yesterday I still got a question from someone asking me if you should freeze buttercream cakes. So that is why I'm sharing in this video. Why do we freeze our cake? So what's the benefits of freezing your cake? Now, if it's something you're interested in, get something to eat and drink and relax. I'll be right back. So welcome back. Number one, as we always do it, I'll just go straight to the point. I always love to go straight to the point. So we are going straight in. A benefit of freezing your cake, or an advantage of freezing your cake, is that it helps to keep your cakes moist. Your cakes would be moist. If you freeze your cakes as opposed to putting them in the refrigerator, which will make them dry, you're going to have moist cake. So that's one way to make your cake moist. If you want your cake to be like soft and melt in the mouth and all of that, but it has to be a good recipe, please. Okay, if you put it in the fridge, if you freeze your cakes, it's going to be moist. The fridge is going to help it become really moist. By the time you bring it out and allow it to thaw and then decorate, you would find out that the texture is lighter, the texture is moist, more moist or moister, I don't know. The texture will be moist, and that is one benefit or advantage of freezing your cakes. Please understand that in freezing your cakes, you have to wrap them neatly, you have to wrap them well, you have to cover them with a cling film or a plastic wrap, whatever it is called in your location. Wrap it well before putting it in your fridge. Some people even go ahead to then wrap in a foil. After wrapping with the cling film, they will wrap in a foil before freezing it. Whatever works for you is absolutely fine, but make sure that it is well covered, it is well wrapped before you freeze your cake. So that's just one advantage. It helps with moistness of your cake. If you do not know, now you definitely know. Number two is that it saves time. So if you have multiple orders or you want to bake, you can actually batch bake. So you bake and then just forget about it. So you can dedicate a particular day to baking all of your cakes that you have for the week. Yes, you can dedicate it to baking all your cakes that you have for the week. And when you're done, you just make after they're cool. When they're cool, then you just go ahead to wrap them up and then freeze them. So it helps save you time. It takes away the headache of what are we baking, what are we baking. That's one thing I used to do. If we've done our calculations, we've done our schedule for the week, or we've received orders for the week, we know which cake is going out on Friday, which cake is going out on Wednesday, and all of that, and then we bake ahead. So we just have to bake ahead and then freeze it and then decorate when we need to. One thing I was doing, like I've shared a couple of times when I started my business, was to bake. Like if I have a cake going out tomorrow morning, maybe I'm decorating tomorrow, it's due for noon, I will bake in the afternoon or in the evening of today and then decorate tomorrow morning. Most times, give or take, you know how it is with baking and decorating, things could happen and then I will end up delivering late. So I was like, team, fresh is best, fresh is best, fresh is best. Of course, fresh is best, but I was not managing my time well. I did not realize that I could actually bake these cakes and freeze them to help me save time. So freezing cakes will definitely help you save a lot of time. It helps with time management as a baker. Please bake. There is nothing wrong with freezing your cakes. Freeze them, wrap them well and freeze them, and then when you're ready to use them, bring them out, allow it thaw, and then just save you a whole lot of things. You can then concentrate on doing other things. When you've baked your cakes, you can then say, well, Tuesday I'm going to make my buttercream, I'm going to make my fondant, I'm going to cover the board. You just schedule yourself, just schedule and do all the things that you need to do before you decorate your cake. So it saves you time when you freeze your cakes, actually does. The third thing is this. An advantage of freezing your cakes is that it's a means of preservation. and it's a means of storage. Let's just concentrate on preservation. So if you want to preserve your cakes, you put it in the freezer, right? Freeze your cakes. For those of you who have asked over and over, I have a couple of people asking, or a number of persons have asked me, what do you use to preserve your cakes? How do you preserve your cakes? Do you use preservatives, this and that, that and this? No, I do not use preservatives in my cake at all. I am not a fan of it. I don't use it in my cakes. So I make my cakes and then I freeze them. There's a better way to preserve my cakes for me. Okay, so I do not use preservatives. And I'll just say, if you want to preserve your cake, even if after you've given it to your clients, I feel that there should be a note letting them know how to store their cakes or how to preserve their cakes. For those who cannot finish it in a day, or for those who want to keep it, maybe they're going on a trip, they want to have the cake and then they're going on a trip and want to come back and still have that cake, please tell them to wrap it nicely in a foil and then freeze it. When they get back, they can allow it thaw and they can eat their cake. So it's a means of preservation. If you're using preservatives, all well and good, but for me, I would rather freeze as a means of preserving my cakes rather than using preservatives in it. It will help, it will go a long way. So just keep the cake fresh and you're good to go. Number 4 is this: for those who are in the business of making on-the-go cakes or ready-to-go cakes, like we call it back home. I don't know what it's called here, but for those who sell off-the-shelf cakes, yeah, I think that's the popular name, off-the-shelf cakes, you can freeze your cake so that it's ready when customers need it. I know of bakers who say, if you need a cake today, we're able to provide you a cake today. Like, you can order for a cake today and get it today. Just give us 1 hour after you place your order and we'll get it ready to you. How are they able to perform that magic? It's not magic. They actually have cakes stored and ready. They have, for those that do parfait, for those that do cakes, cake treats, they just freeze it. For those that do cake slices, they just make their cakes and they freeze it. So when you order, they bring it out depending on what the person wants. If it's to decorate, they can give it a certain amount of time for it to thaw to some extent, and then they decorate. For frozen cakes, I know you can just send it that way before it gets to the person to begin to thaw on the way. Yeah, you have no issues with this. I've read on someone's stories, a baker's stories, where she said to the customers, or she was advising her customers to allow the cakes please thaw a bit before they start eating, because they're frozen. They chill them till they're frozen, so you cannot just begin to dig in immediately. So when you get the cakes, allow it to thaw and eat. And of course, this is possible because those cakes are frozen. That's why they're able to make ready-to-go cakes, on-the-go cakes. Like, if you need a cake today, you can get it. If you're going to go into this type of business, into this type of cake business, then you want to consider investing in a freezer for your cakes, or a chiller, a good chiller, or let's just say freezer for your cakes, so that once they need it, you just bring it out. Cake parfaits, cake treats, you bring it out, package it, and send it off. Before it gets to them, it would have thawed to some extent. So that's one advantage or a plus of freezing your cakes. It will help with ready-to-go cakes, ready-to-go bakers, ready-to-go business of baking. Now I have a meetup coming up in July for bakers that are in Manchester, or bakers that are in the UK that would love to connect with me, that would love to meet with me in person, that would like to ask me questions, that would like to learn from me. It's going to be a time of learning. It's going to be a time of sharing and networking. Okay, so please, if you've been interested in meeting up with me, it's a bakers meetup, a bakers hangout, a bakers, get together. We're just going to meet together. Please, if you're in Manchester or you stay within Manchester and you'd love to meet with me, learn from me, bring your questions. I would answer them. So bring your questions, come and ask me about settling in, everything about baking, and I'll be willing to attend to your questions. It's a great time to connect with me and with all the other bakers that will be there. So please, if you'll be interested, send me an email to ibakecakes@gmail.com, or check my community tab where you're going to see the post I made regarding it. There's a link for you to fill. There's a form for you to fill if you're interested. I just need to get your details and know what to plan for. So I look forward to seeing as many of you that can make it down, or that live in Manchester and would love to meet with me. Okay, so please consider signing up. Now, the 5th thing is this: for those who work with SMBC and whipped cream cakes, IMBC, you know that freezing your cakes is a huge plus to making this kind of cakes. I wouldn't say it's compulsory, it's necessary, but if I were to rank it on a scale of necessity or being mandatory or important, I would rate it high, because definitely it will make your work easier. It aids working with this frosting mediums easy, SMBC, whipped cream, IMBC. You work faster. It's easier for you to work with them than room temperature cakes. I've done it before. I've worked with it before, so I'm speaking from experience. So if your cakes are frozen, you know you need a cool environment. The cakes need to be cold because they need that cool temperature for stability, for ease of working, ease of decorating and everything. So if your cakes are frozen, then it's a major plus for you when you're decorating or working on your whipped cream cakes, your SMBC, IMBC cakes, and other types of special buttercream, even AMBC, silky, you know, they're modified buttercream, AMBC buttercream now, and different types of buttercream generally. There's a lot. There's royal icing buttercream or royal icing fondant is the name they call it. I don't know what they call it now, but it's possible for you to work with this easily if your cakes are frozen. So if you've not been freezing your cakes, this information will help you consider freezing your cakes. So you don't have to struggle like me when I just started. I was struggling with my time. I was struggling so much with my time until I got to understand that, look, there's nothing wrong with freezing cakes. You can actually bake your cake ahead, freeze it, and just plan yourself, just schedule yourself, have a timeline for baking so that you decorate when necessary, you decorate when you need to decorate, and then you can meet up with your clients and meet up with the delivery and all of that. So I hope this video has been of great help to you. If you've watched up to this point, you're the real MVP. Thank you so much for sticking with me up till the end. And don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. That's 2 times. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Share with us in your caking communities. And also drop me a kind comment. If you have questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments. And I will see you in my next video. Until I see you in my next video, stay happy, stay safe, and stay blessed.